What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Chiliz, Babydoge again, and Reef. These three cryptos have been pumping the most over the last 24 hours, and I'm sure that you all want to know where they're headed next. Trust me when I say that today's episode is super special. Some of these charts are looking super bullish. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. We're going to be doing an analysis of the top three cryptos that have been pumping the most over the last 24 hours from Monday through Thursday, so you definitely don't want to miss what's coming up. But before we get started, guys, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of what I'm seeing on the charts. You might have a different opinion, and as I always say, the more different opinions we have, the better, especially when it comes to price action. It'll make all of us better traders, better investors. With all that said, guys, let's get into it. And of course, before we take too close of a look at the Chiliz chart, we have to understand, okay, why is Chiliz pumping, right? You always want to understand why crypto's pumping, because it could be a catalyst. For example, it's like super short-lived. It could be something that's like a one-off or something that's going to continue taking this crypto higher. And in this case, we have kind of like an interesting a combination of factors, let's say. So the reason why Chiliz is pumping, Chiliz is like this Web3 like sports a platform where you can kind of like trade fan tokens, where you have like all these different sports teams, and you can basically trade the tokens of these teams. And Chiliz has all these partnerships, I think, with all these like soccer, I guess football for Europeans, all these football clubs. And that's basically Chiliz's thing, is like, basically offering these fan tokens, and there's all these perks and whatever. We're not going to get into the details here, but basically holders of the Chiliz token were eligible for an airdrop, I guess, of a new token called Pepper. I honestly haven't looked too much into it, but I mean, all you need to know is that basically they basically said, hey, if you're holding this Chiliz token on this day, I guess October 10th, like at midnight, as soon as October 10th started, if you're holding Chiliz in your wallet, then you'll be eligible for this airdrop. So obviously that got a whole bunch of people buying the Chiliz token to try and farm that airdrop, super common thing in crypto. And so you would think like, okay, well, I guess like the catalyst is over, we can all go back to what we were doing, and we can just sell our Chiliz after the Pepper token's been dropped and whatever. But what's interesting is the charts actually suggest something different. Chiliz actually looks like it's about to have a pretty nice recovery, and actually pretty nice profit and loss ratio here. Of around 2.5, so I guess around 30% to the upside or 12% to the downside. And of course, that assumes, always remember, guys, it's not like it's automatically going to go there. It first has to break above this resistance of around 0.075. But of course, guys, we can calculate all this using our target math. So our starting point is roughly 0.05. It's a little bit less conservative than I normally draw, but it just makes more sense in terms of like the targets and everything. So 0.05 as the starting point, and then we have 0.075 as the resistance. And if it gets rejected, then that's why I have always, guys, this support. In case you're wondering, the reason why I have the support here is that if there's a rejection at resistance on the way up, then it's probably going to go back down to the support, chop around a little bit, and then keep heading higher, kind of like what we saw back here. I do think that most altcoins are headed higher in the coming weeks, which is why I kind of have this like a bullish bias or bullish thesis, let's say. But at the same time, I'm just looking at what's on the charts and letting the charts guide me. I'm not imposing my will on the charts. That's how you get wrecked. Anyways, guys, so we have, of course, the 0.075 resistance. The difference between the starting point and the resistance is 0.025, as you can see here. And you basically take the resistance, add it to the difference, and that's your target. And as you can see here, if we zoom back a little bit, you can see that, yeah, like it looks like this 10-cent target was a key zone of support and resistance in the past. Even if we go further, you can see here back all the way in January. And it makes sense, guys, because again, this 0.1 10-cent target basically is super psychologically comfortable. This is a level that a lot of people are going to be watching, and as such, it's possible, as I've always said, when we're dealing with these targets, it's possible that it'll slightly undershoot. So maybe it'll go to like, I don't know, 0.095 or something, or it'll overshoot. It'll go to 0.115 or like, just slightly higher, or 0.11 or something like this. You know what I mean? Just to mess up the people who are watching that target, all those bots, all the traders who are saying, yeah, I'm going to sell right at 0.1. The price will go just before to mess people up, or it'll go just above to mess people up. The markets are always trying to mess you up, and when you have that mentality, it makes things a little bit easier to trade. And again, guys, the risk reward here is looking pretty good, and I do think that Chiliz is going to keep getting higher. Is that going to happen right away? No, I think it's possible we do see a couple days of chop, maybe even a couple weeks, because again, we are on the daily here. So if we see a repeat of this past pattern, it could be like literally a week or something of chop before headed to this target, and I do think that target's going to be hit in the coming weeks regardless. And as you guys can see, we're using Bybit here. You can find the Bybit deal in the description. It's literally just like a one-click down there. If you want to do it through the deals page, that's cool too. But you can just go to the description, click the Bybit deal to get 60% up to $60,000 in rewards and 0% maker fees for 30 days. As I'm going to be repeating every video, guys, I know that like a lot of these deals you're thinking, well, I'm not a whale, so I can't benefit, and that's not true. If you're trading frequently, even if you don't have a lot of crypto, if you have a few $100s, few $1,000s, but you're trading like all the time, like every day or every week or whatever, those fees do add up, and the way that you can reduce those fees and take home more profits is to take advantage of these deals. It doesn't cost you a thing. and it helps us out. The exchange gets a new user, and you get a discount on your trading fees. So it's like a win-win-win. Assuming the exchange is legit, and of course the Coin Bureau, we only deal with exchanges that are legit. Moving on now to Babydoge, and so same thing. Of course, by now you're probably familiar with this chart. We've already looked at it, I think, 2 or 3 times since we started posting videos earlier this week. And as I noted yesterday, it looks like the head and shoulders had been invalidated, and that's basically what happened. And you can see that Babydoge continues to climb, and it looks like it's going to be hitting that 3.5 target. And again, this is not $3.5. This is not, none of here is dollars or cents. This is 0.0000009 zeros ahead of that. I probably should have mentioned that in the other videos, but I'm sure you guys could probably see that as well. That we're dealing with 0.0000000 whatever 35 as the target. And from here we don't really have too much. Let me actually adjust the profit loss here. So if we go up higher, it'll be maybe another 20% gain to the downside. Maybe it'll get caught. Downside maybe 10%, upside around 20%. So not too bad, 2 to 1. But again, when you're dealing with a meme coin that's so volatile, it's not really necessarily worth trying to squeeze the juice out of that move, especially if you're trying to use leverage. It's just super risky, and it's not worth the reward in my personal opinion. Your opinion might differ, but it's nice to see at least that in the first week of doing these analysis that we can see that one of these charts is kind of playing out exactly as expected. Taking some time, but it's getting there, and I do expect Babydoge probably to hit that target in the coming days. And in terms of the catalyst, this is where things get interesting. There is no specific catalyst. There's literally been no tweets over the last 2 days from the Babydoge Twitter account, and of course that's the way that you guys can check what is the reason why crypto's pumping. Literally just check their Twitter/X to see what updates they've been posting. The last update is just literally from Babydoge here, which is not really telling us much at all. And so I suspect that there is some trade, I guess manipulation going on there. Something we discussed yesterday as well with these meme coins, and you can actually see it in the longer term price charts. And in terms of Babydoge, I was looking at CoinMarketCap, and you can see that there's a lot of volume coming from one of these offshore exchanges. But anyways, guys, the point being is I do think that I think regardless of this manipulation, looks like whoever's pulling the strings really wants to get to that target, and then we'll probably see a correction, and then Babydoge will probably keep moving higher. But again, we'll have to take things one step at a time. Don't try and impose your will. Don't try and say Babydoge is going to the moon. Just look at what's in front of you on the charts and say, okay, it's going to hit to this level, and after that, we'll have to wait and see. So now moving on to Reef, guys. This is a crypto I remember hearing a lot about in the last crypto bull market. I'm pretty sure that there was a whole bunch of controversy around some token issuance or something like this. Stuff that's I guess water under the bridge. You could say. I think there was something involved with FTX or whatever. But what's interesting, guys, is that Reef is I guess supposed to be kind of this general purpose blockchain. But what's interesting is when you go through the recent tweets and recent posts, it looks like they're getting more involved into kind of GameFi. And of course, we're starting to see early signs that GameFi is going to become the next big narrative. How we kind of had AI and RWAs or real world assets, all this type of stuff. It looks like GameFi could be the next one, and it looks like Reef is trying to ride that wave. And to be honest, guys, the Reef chart is actually looking pretty solid. Although for the time being, it looks like the move is kind of over, because as you can see here, we had the starting point of 0.0015. Resistance of around 0.0045, and again, because I was drawing kind of a conservative estimate, the actual target is probably closer to turned out to be closer to 0.007. When if we actually calculated it using the regular way, then the target would actually be something closer to 0.075. Or sorry, I guess I messed up the calculation here, guys, but you get the point. Basically just 0.07, pretty obvious to kind of measure here, and I do think we're going to see a little bit of a retracement in the coming days. Same kind of a similar pattern to what we saw back here. Maybe you'll see a pretty sharp retracement and then bounce around for I don't know a couple. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, maybe for a couple weeks. It's possible that it'll bounce around before moving higher. And again, guys, that's what we're seeing on these other cryptos like Chiliz. So it would surprise me in the slightest. But yeah, guys, I guess that's just about it for today. If you enjoyed the video, then and you want to see more of me, then become a member of the Coin Bureau Club. That's where I post Bitcoin and Ethereum charts every single day. I also do TA on select altcoins, and sometimes some people in the Discord will request, can you do a technical analysis on this altcoin? And if I have the time, I'll definitely do that. The Coin Bureau Club, of course, is where we do weekly altcoin reviews. We showcase our personal portfolios. We reveal kind of the cryptos that we're watching. We do daily crypto market updates. You guys can vote on the cryptos that we review. And of course, we have this exclusive members Discord where you can ask us questions, including, Dan, hey, could you do some TA on this crypto? But yeah, guys, and the link to that, of course, is in the description. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.